All right, we will go ahead and start, but I just want to welcome everybody out in the audience. My name is Kim Bukama. I'm the principal at the high school, and you can see I'm joined by lots of people this evening. First and foremost, I'll introduce Dr. Wool, our superintendent of schools, who usually is always with us on these parent tours at the high school. Just enjoying and watching and hearing from our students, just as I hope everybody in the audience will enjoy hearing from them this evening. I'm also joined by Kelly Malcheski, who you're going to meet later on in our video portion tour. But I do want to introduce two people that you're going to come know very, very well. You met them in our 8th grade orientation that we also already had that gave more curriculum flavor. And tonight, the PTA tour is a little bit different, and it's one of our most enjoyed events because you really get to hear about the student experience from the actual students and what it's like to be a Harrison High School student. So I do want to let Mrs. Griffo and Mr. Mastrota, again, the two assistant principals, say hello. So Mrs. Griffo, and then if you could flip it over to Mr. Mastrota.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lori Griffo. I'm one of the assistant principals, and I'm really looking forward to this evening and having our students share so much about what they experience at the high school. When we met with you, if you were at the open house for 8th grade parents or along the way, we always talk about students, their experiences at the high school and finding their passions and kind of deciding on their path. And I think that as we go through this evening, that will become more clear, more so than anything that I could ever share with you. So I hope you really enjoy. And I'll turn this over now to introduce my partner, Mr. Mastrota.
Thank you, Ms. Griffo. Welcome, everybody. It's a great evening. I say this in every public presentation I give. I think Harrison High School is the best high school in New York State. And Dr. Will and Ms. Bukema can put tons of data in front of you, but what you'll hear from our students tonight, and if you had unfortunately, if you were able to come to the school pre-pandemic times, you would have a better understanding of what I'm saying. But this building gives students the real opportunity to find what they're interested in and find a pathway, as Lori said, and really give them experiences to build a robust high school. I call it a resume. I mean, a transcript just has numbers on it, but a resume has a story and a narrative. And all of these students on this presentation will be able to tell you a story about their time at Harrison High School and how it helped shape them and then present them out there to the next step in their life. So it's a great evening. Sit back and enjoy. We're here to answer all questions, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of information. And if anything comes to you later tonight or tomorrow, send us an email, pick up the phone, give us a call, and we'll help answer any questions you may have. So I'm going to turn it back over to the principal of Harrison High School, Ms. Kim Bukema.
All right, thank you to both Mrs. Griffo and Mr. Mastrota, who will become, like I say, very familiar faces to you next year and throughout the next 4 years. I'm not going to introduce our students yet, other than saying that thank you for joining us. They're going to each introduce themselves, but first we want you to watch our tour that we put together for you, but to get introduced to our beautiful campus and get an idea of what it's like here at Harrison. And then they're going to each have the opportunity after that to introduce themselves. And as Mrs. Griffo said, be able to hear about their passions that they were able to explore while at Harrison. And their personalized pathway that each of them took here at the high school, because each one is unique in terms of their experience that they've had. And if you talk to our 1,100 students in this building, each of them will also have a very unique story to tell you. But we try to give you a broad range of what it looks like to be a student here. So Mrs. Malcheski, and I will apologize in advance for our video. We've tried it every different way, but it comes out a little wonky, even posted on YouTube. So we're hoping for the best. Welcome to Harrison High School. Today we will be having two of our students from Harrison take you through our campus. We have Polly Horvath, who is one of our juniors, as well as CJ Tummings, one of our seniors. We're sorry that you can't be here in person to visit our absolutely beautiful building, but I trust you in the hands of these two students who will take you through every bit and tell you all that there is to know about Harrison High School. So enjoy your visit with us.
Hi, my name is Polly Horvath, and I'm a junior here at Harrison High School. Here, we're in the HPAC, which stands for the Harrison Performing Arts Center. This is where band, orchestra, chorus, and even theater take place. I myself am included in the spring musical, which occurs on this stage every single year. It's an amazing activity that I love, and especially this year, the HPAC has been the home of lots of different classes that usually don't even occur here, like chorus. It's an amazing space, and it's huge. It's awesome for all the activities of performing arts.
Hi, my name is CJ Tummings. I'm a senior at Harrison High School, and here I'm showing you one of the band rooms that we have. And here we perform not only orchestra, but we also do band. And in the other band room that we have, which is actually next door, we do chorus. Unfortunately, because of this year's circumstances, we've transitioned orchestra and band to the HPAC, or the Harrison Performing Arts Center. And on there, we do orchestra on the stage, or even we're able to do it in the actual performing center, or where the seats are, because we have such great space to do things like that. But yeah, basically in a room like this, because on a normal year because of the shape that it has, on a normal year it's actually very almost preferred to do things that are music related in this room because the sound resonates very well. So you're pretty much able to hear everything from, like, I guess, different sections doing their pieces in a very good quality way. So it really does help your own performance.
This room is the black box, also known as the planetarium or the dance room. In this class, dance classes take place every single day.
Slide. Right arm. Left, right, hold it together. Scoop, scoop, and throw. To the left, to the right, up, and pull, and pull. Yes, let's do that again.
This used to be the planetarium of the high school, which the astronomy club still uses to have planetarium fairs every so often. It's really fun, and it's a really great space to get some dance or to look at the stars.
So this is one of our 3 art rooms. In Harrison, we offer traditional arts and digital photography, like ceramics, as you can tell by the kiln that I'm standing right in front of. And just, based on this year's circumstances, in our art rooms, we are able to separate the kids with these shields. And with these shields, we still have enough space to perform art and allow kids to still pretty much enjoy a regular experience where they're able to do, a wide variety of different types of art forms, such as painting or even coloring with colored pencils, or whatever interests them. This is our Harrison Library, one of my personal favorite areas. I come here all the time. It serves many purposes. One being that I can come here and study. It offers a lot of quiet space for students to come here throughout the day and just, zone in on whatever work they want to focus on, or even just find time to be by themselves throughout the day. And another purpose that's very unique is that because we have a second floor, we have access to a lot of our teachers throughout the day. So if you actually need extra help with assignments or anything of the sort, you're able to walk up to that desk over there, talk to our very great staff, and ask them to ring up one of our teachers upstairs, and then you can go from there and see whatever help you need. And even a bonus is that a lot of our IB curriculum teachers, our IB instructors, they're also constantly coming in and out of the library. So when you're working on IB assignments like your EE or something like that, you're able to come and contact them and ask them for help on assignments such as like your EE. I was here all the time getting help for my EE. And yeah, that's pretty much why it's such a useful room. And when all is said and done, you can even come here and read one of the many books that we have and just pretty much enjoy your time here.
Welcome to the Rose Garden. This is the newest wing of classrooms in Harrison High School where all of the math classes take place. It's very nice and brand new with lots of beautiful technology, as you can see. It's a great learning environment where all the math classes are, and all the teachers are very amazing and will always be there for extra help. Also, as you might see, there's a beautiful new air filtration system that we are using, as well as the clear plexiglass dividers that help us learn safely and uniquely. Welcome to the science classrooms. All of the science classrooms are on the second floor of Harrison High School and are awesome places to learn. The teachers are great, and there's so much cool technology that you get to use in classes. There's also so many different courses in science that you can choose from freshman year to senior year. It's an awesome place to learn.
So, I put some peroxide in the bottom. I put in a drop of food coloring. Green. Just gonna give it a little swirl. And get green. I'm also gonna put just a little drizzle of dish soap into here. And so, we said that hydrogen peroxide naturally decomposes over time, yes? But do you see it decomposing? No, it's very slow, right? It takes, if it's in the dark and in a nice cool place, it takes years for it to decompose. But we're going to make it decompose faster by adding a catalyst, okay? So what I'm using for my catalyst is potassium iodide. Ready? You guys have seen this before on the internet, probably. What is this called? Elephant toothpaste. This is what elephant toothpaste is. It's the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide.
Another aspect of science here is science research. In science research, students participate in original scientific research and work with scientists and professionals in their area of interest to conduct independent research in mathematics, life science, physical science, psychology, or the social sciences.
I found that there was an increase in motivation levels.
We've made it outside. Welcome to the senior patio, where lots of kids spend their lunch eating or even a free studying. It's a great outdoor space where social distancing is really easy, and it connects the senior parking lot to the senior hallway.
Yeah, it's a very fun place to be. As a senior myself, I come here a lot just to talk to my friends, and even just, especially when the weather is nice, just enjoy the scenery, because when the leaves are on the trees, it looks great here. And it's also very fun to eat lunch out here, especially makes it easier when you're coming to get, as a senior, to get like food that you ordered or food that you picked up. So it's very convenient to be able to sit outside and eat the food that you brought here. And basically, yeah, it's just a fun space to kind of, I guess, get out the classroom, like during free periods and stuff. Even if you have to study, or even if you just want to talk to people and meet people from like across the school that you might not see, it's a very easy just commute area that all students could come together, and it's very easy to get to. Like, it's pretty much, you can't really miss it if you come to the high school. We're here in our athletic hallway, which leads us to pretty much all of our indoor athletic facilities and is decorated with our history of athletic awards. To my left, you'd find the big gym, where we typically host like our main sport events like pep rallies, maybe like a basketball game, volleyball games, etc. And that's where we keep all of our banners. Meanwhile, behind me to the right over there, you'd find our small gym, which is basically the same thing, just not as much space, so like no bleachers, anything like that, but offers the same amount of space to just have fun in and conduct gym class, even play basketball game during like a regular year, and practice for sports too, like, because for most sports teams they'd split it up into both gyms. Just outside the building, we have our fields where gym classes are also held, and where we have our interscholastic games with other schools. And to my right, like directly to my right, that's where we find our fitness center. So this area pretty much leads you to everything related to athletics in Harrison. And now we're in our fitness center, where athletes for all sports at Harrison High School come and train up for their season. And we have all the resources and pretty much all the resources and equipment that athletes will need for their season to train their bodies right. And thanks to HEF, we have new bikes, rowers, and treadmills. Behind me, you'll find the student union, where kids come throughout the day, even during their free periods, to come and eat lunch and just hang out with their friends. The food's very amazing to eat. There's an added benefit that we have smoothie parlors, and we offer like a host of other snacks, such as like cookies. My personal favorite are brownies, but yeah, a whole lot of snacks. And this year, as you can probably tell, we have a different seating arrangement, that being desks. On a normal year, though, we'd have more like round table seating arrangements, where kids are able to sit more spaced out, or less spaced out, but more in different areas of the cafeteria, where they could sit closer to their friends and, I guess, sit in different areas of the cafeteria rather than just the middle spaced out. Given to the circumstances this year, we do this seating desk arrangement where they place desks on top of dots that social distance the kids during the lunch period. But nonetheless, it's still a fun area to come and talk to your friends and eat lunch and enjoy your time.
We've now entered the B hallway where lots of different offices that you might need to go to are. The first room here is B104, which houses our assistant principals who do lots of important things like head lots of different clubs. There's also the attendance office and the directors of lots of different programs here at the high school. Down the hall is the guidance office where lots of different guidance counselors who will help you with things like college, and the head of guidance are as well. All the way down the hall is the main office where the principal's office and lots of different secretaries who are always there to help you with whatever you may need.
Harrison High School has made a commitment to providing equity and access to a demanding and advanced course of study. Our academic program also emphasizes a personalized, rigorous approach to learning. Students have the opportunity throughout high school to work with their teachers and school counselors to develop an individualized, most rigorous, best fit 4-year pathway of study. We work thoughtfully with students to push them out of their academic comfort zones, but not without our support and our guidance. We offer all students the opportunity to earn an IB diploma, which is recognized as one of the most comprehensive and rigorous programs of study. Also, for many students, the most demanding course of study is a personalized program that combines select IB, AP, and other externally validated college-level courses.
One of the coolest rooms at Harrison High School is the technology room. As you can see, there's lots of amazing equipment where you can do things like shop and cut wood if you really want to, in classes like DDP, which I took as a freshman, which stands for Design, Drawing, and Production, which is an architecture type class. However, to the side of me here, there's the computer lab, which is an amazing space to do other things like design homes, which is a really cool opportunity. And there's lots of classes like IB Design, which is a great opportunity to get an IB credit in your senior year.
We have many extracurricular activities here at the high school, including clubs. We have a club for just about any interest, including debate, Model Congress, language clubs like Italian and Spanish, math and science clubs, arts and media clubs, Husky Herald newspaper, Imagine Literary magazine, just all sorts. A list of all the clubs is posted outside the guidance office.
Welcome to Harrison High School!
Well, woohoo! I'm so excited watching that video myself. So thank you to our two students, one who's on this call, CJ, who you'll be hearing from in a little bit, but also for Polly Horvath, who couldn't make it tonight, but did volunteer to help us create that video. So we appreciate their help. It was very hard to put our whole group together to make it because as you're going to hear in a minute, they all have incredibly busy schedules here at Harrison. So I don't want to take up any more of the airtime. I'm going to say a name just so we're not talking over each other. And the students are going to share a little bit about themselves and what their experience has been in their 4 years at Harrison. So since I think we might all look a little bit, appear a little different place on each other's screens, and I'm not positive on that, I'm just going to kind of go in the order that you appear on my screen. So we'll start with you, John Carpino.
Hello, my name is John Carpino. I'm a senior at Harrison. I attended Parsons Elementary School and, of course, LMK. A couple of my courses include IB Language and Literature, Pre-Calculus, IB 20th Century, IB Biology, as well as some of my art classes, which are Digital Art and Design and Chorus. Something important that is good to know is that for my Pre-Calculus class, you can earn WCC credits, which are pretty helpful. Some extracurriculars that I do is technical theater. I'm the stage manager here at the Harrison Performing Arts Center. I don't have an EE topic because I do not take the diploma. I'm not a diploma candidate, nor do I have a CAS project. But my plans for college is to attend the Penn State University and for technical theater, focusing in stage management.
All right, thank you, John. And John, did you mention your elementary school? I missed that at the beginning, did you? Okay.
Yes, I said Parsons Elementary.
Thank you. And parents, as we're going along, feel free to put questions into the Q&A or into the chat, and we'll be moderating those, and maybe at some point might even interrupt a student if there's something that we think is relative to what they're sharing right then. Otherwise, we'll return to the questions at the end. So if you have something that comes into your head along the way, just feel free to put it in there, and eventually we'll get to it during our presentation. Layla, I know that you have a very similar experience, but we're going to go to you next.
Hi, my name is Layla. I am also a senior at high school. I went to Purchase Elementary School just for 5th grade and attended LMK, and now I'm obviously at the high school. I am a diploma candidate, and some of the courses I took, my higher level classes are English and art and design technology, and then my other 3 classes include Spanish, economics, and I also took a year of physics, and I also take TOK and I've done my EE. My EE topic was on film, and I wrote mine about the Star Wars franchise. My CAS project included a creative webinar where I hosted workshops, arts and crafts workshops for young kids in elementary school, where they could make several projects based on supplies they had at home that could access very easily. And my extracurriculars, similar to John, I'm also part of the Harrison High School Tech Crew. I am the head of sound there, so we work very closely, and it's an amazing experience there. My college plans, I am going to be attending NYU as a collaborative arts major at Tisch School of the Arts, which is like a production and visual design major.
That's pretty exciting. You guys always do a good job of miking me too. Layla, can you take us back to all those acronyms? Because the people at home don't know TOK, EE, or CAS. Can you tell us what those mean?
Of course, sorry about that. So basically, as part of the IB diploma, there are certain requirements other than having to take 6 IB courses, 3 of which have to be higher level. You have to take a TOK class, which stands for Theory of Knowledge, which is a really awesome course where you get to explore very freely and openly, have discussions about knowledge and the different areas of knowledge, how people attain it and how people analyze and understand what knowledge is. So it's a super cool class to have, and the teachers are really awesome with it. The EE is the extended essay, which is a 4,000-word essay of any topic of your choice. And I mean that quite literally. There are subtopics that it has to fit into, but anything that your student is like super interested in, you could write about it. And we have awesome teachers who are really supportive in helping us figure out how to navigate that. The CAS project stands for Creativity, Activity, and Service. And it is a community service project also of your choice that has to be either creative or active. And it can be about anything you want. And I had so much fun with mine. So there's a lot of opportunities to have fun with it.
And one of the questions that came up in the chat right now was which courses where students can actually earn credits towards college. So any of the IB courses, you can earn credits towards college if you do the 2-year sequence. It's a junior and senior year sequence. In most cases, we do have a couple 1-year SL courses, which is the standard level course, and they're followed by an external assessment, similar to, in some ways, the model of an AP, that you have to actually get a point score, not just from that exam, but also from other things that IB calculates into that final score in order to earn that college credit. So just like AP, you usually get those credits and find out those scores in the summer. That's the same with IB. You find out your scores in the summer as to whether or not you earn those credits for college. And then I'm going to let one of the students grab this question. We'll go back to John since he's already spoken. John, what does a no diploma student mean versus a diploma candidate? Could you share what the difference is between the two?
Of course. Your sophomore year, you kind of make a decision if you want to go into IB diploma. That would be your junior and senior year. You can take a full IB, meaning you require 2 HL, I think it's 2 HL credits as well as I think 2 SL credits. IB, of course. For me, I know that I didn't feel the need to take IB, but that was personal. I know IB is really important and actually can help a lot of people in college. But I do take a couple IB classes. Like I said that I take the language and literature, which is my English class, as well as my science, which is IB biology. So I do get a little bit of the IB, but I personally don't take full IB, which is all the courses that you're going to take if you do take the full diploma.
Sure. And one of the things I think you heard Mrs. Melchesky say in the video was your best fit, most rigorous personalized pathway. And that really is what it looks like. And I know she's on this call and she could share a little bit more with that. So students, just based on their interests in different things that they do, make that determination if they want to go the full diploma route or they want to do just kind of like a picking of different courses for IB. With the full diploma being the most rigorous of the pathways in terms of the academic piece, because it has other requirements outside of just the courses like Layla spoke to, the CAS, the TOK class, and the EE, the extended essay. So hopefully we answered that thoroughly enough for the audience, but if you need more clarification, just put it right into the chat. So Macarena, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Macarena. I'm currently a junior and I transferred to LMK in 6th grade from Florida. I'm currently an IB diploma candidate and I'm taking AP Calc BC 1 and 2, which is also IB Math SL. I'm taking SUPA Computer Science, IB History of the Americas HL, IB English HL, IB Physics HL, and IB French SL. And some of my elective courses with the diploma are Theory of Knowledge, TOK, and also science research. Some of the extracurriculars I participate in are French Club, Internationally Minded Harrison, Student Advisory Board, Computer Science, Ping Pong Club, Peer Leaders, and I'm on the Harrison High School tennis team. For my CAS project, I'm currently partnering with the public library to teach beginner coding lessons to younger students. And for my EE topic, I'm choosing to do it on a topic I'm studying in science research, and I'm creating a mathematical model to predict future donation patterns and compare fundraising strategies to maximize revenue for nonprofit organizations.
And you haven't slept in 3 years,
I
brother.
was just thinking about that. We will offer a night in the fall where parents who are interested can learn more next fall about the full IB diploma and what it all means and how it fits with the students' MYP experience that they've had in middle school through high school. So that will be more information that you'll get along your walk at Harrison High School. But one of the things that we talk about in IB is the characteristics or in the attributes in the IB learner profile. And one of them is balance. And I think we need to get Macaroni to work on her balance a little bit there. She's got a lot going on. Sonali, you're up next, please.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sonali. I'm currently a senior, and for elementary school, I attended Harrison Avenue School. Some of the courses I take are SUPA Multivariable Calc, which is, again, through Syracuse University. I take IB Physics HL, IB Psychology HL, IB English HL, and then IB 20th Century, also HL, and then IB Spanish SL. Some of the electives I took were science research. I took those in 10th and 11th grade, and then I had to drop it because my research required me to kind of be in person, and obviously I couldn't do that due to the pandemic. And then I also took dance in 9th and 10th grade, which I had to drop because I wanted to fit in psychology. For my extracurriculars, I'm on the debate team. I have been for 4 years, and I've been a team captain for 2 of those years. And I've also done math team and Spanish club for a little bit. And my EE topic, I wrote a research paper in psychology, specifically about cancel culture and like the roots it has in psych. And my CAS project is that I mentored some women in debate, which is kind of just, giving them more hands-on experience and learning more about the activity. And next year, I will be attending Cornell University, and I'll be majoring in human development.
Wow. Sonali, can you talk a little bit more about multivariable calculus? Because a lot of people don't even know what that is. And we're the only high school pretty much in New York State. And we have probably the greatest math teacher in the world teaching it. It's my own opinion. But
yeah, of course. So multivariable calculus is the senior course you would take after you take, I think, what Macarena is taking, which is BC Calc 1 and 2. And basically, it's kind of like an extension of that course, but it's through Syracuse University, so you do get college credits for it. And it's the same teacher, Mr. C. He's great. He's a really great teacher, and there's definitely a lot of opportunities for extra help, and he really will walk you through the course. But yeah, it's basically just a college course that you take now in math.
Yeah, very tough.
And Sonali, forgive me for not saying your name correctly at first. I should know it like this because of all the accolades that you're always receiving from debate. So I know we say your name enough around here. Roya, would you mind going next?
Sure. So, hi, my name is Roya Azar. I'm a senior at Harrison. I went to Harrison Avenue Elementary School. In terms of some of the courses I take, I am a diploma candidate. I'm taking IB Physics HL, IB English HL, IB History HL, IB Economics, IB Italian, and I'm also in the Multivariable Calculus course for SUPA. An elective that I take is Science Research, and I've been taking that for the past 3 years at Harrison. Some of my extracurriculars is that I'm in student government. I've been the president of Relay for Life for the past 2 years. And I'm also co-president of Model Congress this year. And I also played tennis and basketball. And in terms of my EE, so I'm fortunate enough that I'm able to kind of connect my EE to the research that I conducted in science research. So I was lucky enough to go to a lab for 4 weeks over the summer before the pandemic and conduct cancer immunotherapy research. So my EE is based on perfecting humanized mouse models for that cancer immunotherapy research. My CAS project was help facilitating mask donations to the White Plains Cancer Center because they had a shortage during the pandemic. And I'm going to be attending Columbia in the fall.
And Roya, would you be comfortable answering the question in the chat? And if you're not, it's okay, but the difference between the SL and the HL courses for parents?
Yeah, sure. So SL stands for standard level and HL stands for higher level. And IB diploma candidates have to take 3 HL courses and 3 SL courses or standard level courses, usually to get the diploma. Higher level just means that I guess the courses are slightly more difficult, while standard level means that they're slightly less difficult. So, and there's different ranges of which classes have standard level and higher level. So depending on what people are comfortable with, they can take those courses. I mean, they're all difficult, but there are definitely some that are more difficult than others.
Thank you. All right, Emma, you ready?
Hi everyone, I'm Emma. I'm a junior at Harrison, and I went to Parsons. Love Parsons. Shout out Parsons. And I'm not a diploma candidate. However, I do take a lot of the IB classes. So I'm in Bio HL, English HL, Psych HL, and then for math, I'm in AP Calc BC Year 1, and I take Italian SL. As for extracurriculars, I'm the student gov treasurer, along with Italian club treasurer. I'm involved in Relay for Life. I'm in peer leaders, and I also help tutor a kid through like a program with LMK at the middle school. And I'm also in ping pong club. I also, for like my art credit, I've taken orchestra for the past, since 4th grade, but in the high school these past 3 years. So I'm also in string ensemble. And although I'm currently injured, I am on varsity soccer and track, and I also play basketball. So.
Thank you, Emma. Continue more questions. All right, CJ, I know they already met you a little bit in the video, but CJ, you're up.
Hi again, I'm CJ Tummings. I'm a senior at Harrison High School. As an IB diploma candidate, my higher levels are physics, English, and if I remember the name correctly, it's also history, yes, 20th century history HL. And then for my standard level classes, I take economics, French, and then multivariable calculus would be my 3rd standard level course. But out of my favorite activity to do since about elementary school when I started, I went to Harrison Avenue Elementary School. Just want to put that in there. And then, outside of that, for my extracurriculars, I'm treasurer of the French club. I've been a varsity athlete since junior year, but outside of that, I've been involved in sports since about middle school. I'm also part of the math team, and I do computer science. In regards to my EE and CAS project, for the EE, I did an inferential statistics oriented type of subject where I applied inferential statistics to how it helps medical research, both throughout history, how it's developed more so throughout history to help medical research. And I provided some examples of how it's used in medical research today, such as how they take statistics on the coronavirus and how it impacts different communities. And then for my CAS project, I actually made a cool cultural dish and turned that into like a cookbook where I was able to distribute that to people in my family and people in my local community, that just to almost give them a spice, like a little spice of life, given like, you know, the very monotonous situation that we live in right now. But yeah, that's overall, I've had a lot of fun being in Harrison High School. I'd recommend it for anyone that's actually trying to have a very diverse experience with not only their education, but also their academics, and I guess they're feeling it as being a part of a community that's actually very like inviting and bigger than them. Like, it's very fun to be a student in Harrison High School, knowing that there's a large variety of different types of kids, different types of interests, and the staff that's very invested in getting to know each and every one of their students, but also being an ally to each and every one of their students.
I'm so glad we taped that answer. That was just, for me, makes me feel so good. I love the concept that students are allies to one another. That's exciting. But I do want a copy of the cookbook. I'm just putting that out there.
I think people are getting definitely a sense of the most rigorous best fit pathway in terms of all the different pathways all of you are taking here at the high school. So Parker, and thank you, CJ. Parker, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Parker Gibbons. I'm a senior at Harrison High School. I went to Parsons Elementary School and then LMK before coming to the high school. I am an IB diploma candidate, and so currently my higher level courses are biology, English, and Italian, which is interesting because it wasn't like available when I first came to the high school, but a lot of us who did Italian desire to have a higher level version of it. So through working with guidance and Miss Jakubowski, who teaches 9th and 10th grade Italian, we were able to get that set up and have that as a course to take. And then for my standard level courses, I take economics, super multivariable calculus, which is also interesting because it incorporates AP calculus into the junior year for the BC 1 and 2, which is coexists with that. And then I also take IB business standard level. I throughout my 4 years at Harrison High School, I've been involved with Model Congress, Italian Club, Math Club, and Chemistry Club. I've been playing varsity baseball for 3 years. I've been involved with the baseball program since 7th grade. And for my EE topic for the diploma, I did a study on meditation and mindfulness, how that affects physical and mental performance for athletes. And I was able to work with one of our gym teachers in the high school to perform a study on one of our athletic teams and get data for that, which was really fun. And then for my CAS project, I was supposed to host a wiffle ball tournament at Brentwood Park in Harrison including kids from elementary, middle, and high school, with the funds benefiting the New York Coalition for the Homeless in the city. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to happen. It was supposed to happen last May, but that was before the pandemic really started. And my college plan for next year is I am currently committed to play outfield and pitch for Kenyon College in Gambier, Ohio, and I'm very excited for that.
Thank you, Parker. We're excited for you. I was, by the way, thinking, going back to CJ, that we were going to get the big unveiling of where you were going to go to college, CJ. I thought this was like the moment you were going to share it with us. CJ's been accepted to a number of colleges and he has not yet chosen. So not yet, CJ? It's okay.
No, sorry, not yet.
Come on, it's like the Academy Awards. We're waiting to see.
I'm excited to hear because I haven't heard where all of the students are going to college. So it's kind of fun to sit and hear where our seniors are going. So Parker, that was the first I'd heard that. So congratulations.
I'm making a list of things I want, though. I want the paper on cancel culture. I want the mindfulness study, and I definitely want the cookbook, just keeping track of.
All right, Veronica, you ready?
Hello, my name is Veronica Maloney, and I'm a junior. I went to Preston Elementary School and then LMK before going to the high school. So I am an IB diploma candidate. I was a little hesitant and kind of wanted to drop it after the first month, but luckily my guidance counselor was really helpful and he supported me and encouraged me to keep up with it. So I'm glad I did. I'm in high level Spanish, HL English, and HL dance, and then SL math analysis, US history, and SL sports, health, and exercise science, which is actually really interesting. it's the first year that this course was offered, and I love it because it's kind of like a continuation of health class, which all sophomores are required to take. So I took that last year, and it's very like, I guess, not a traditional science class. We go to like outside to walk the track or the fitness center, and it's just really fun. For my elective, I take photography or digital art and design, but I just call it that. It's easier, and I love that as well. The teacher's amazing, Miss Polewski. You can kind of like walk around and take your own pictures because I'm a yearbook photographer, so I do that during class pretty much, or you can like work on Photoshop things and whatever you want to do on your computer in class. For my extracurriculars, I am involved in the Youth to Youth Club and the Yearbook Club, like I said. I'm also part of internationally minded Harrison, like Macarena said. I'm secretary and Macarena is the vice president. She didn't mention, but I'm going to give her some credit. I'm a peer leader, and I also had participated in DECA for 2 years. I didn't participate this year because everything was virtual because of the pandemic, and it's a way different experience, but I do love DECA, which is the business club, and you can kind of like compete nationwide. It's really fun. I've also played soccer here. I've played soccer since middle school, but I've been on JV freshman and sophomore year, and then I was on varsity this year. And my CAS project, it's actually almost done. I have one more session left, but what I do is I work with a local Girl Scout troop, and I host like once a month a Zoom meeting, and I kind of like guide them step by step through a recipe so they can earn their cooking badge, and I earn like my CAS credit. It's really fun.
I'll have to borrow CJ's cookbook.
Yes.
Thank you, Veronica. And I noticed a few students on this call are actually the voice of our announcements at the high school. I know Veronica makes our announcements in the morning. I know Macarena makes announcements for us. Trying to think if I'm missing anybody else that comes on. Remi, do you make announcements?
I do not make announcements.
Okay.
Physics first period.
Well,
Ms. Bukema, can Veronica talk a little bit about what high-level dance is, and what kind of assessments are? Because people aren't aware that, our dance program is really rigorous. It's quite academic.
So the difference between SL and HL dance, has nothing to do with how like good of a dancer you are. It's more like the requirements, the written requirements, I guess. We have something called a World Dance Investigation, which is what we submit to IB, and we have different word counts. We have different requirements for that. And we have different requirements for the amount of like videos we need to send in of like choreographed dances. So I personally am an Irish dancer. Like I've trained in that since elementary school. So it was kind of like a no brainer that I was taking HL because I have a lot of connections for the World Dance Investigation.
It's just such an interesting thing. I see so many of the dancers, and their experience is so different. It's really, and Miss Toteta is amazing. So,
yeah, I love the dance program. I think anyone in it can say, who's stuck through it for like 3 or 4 years, can say it's amazing. So,
thank you.
All right, and we're going to have, before we go back to the questions, we'll have Remi, who is going to test out to see whether we'll have her do announcements or not.
That's a lot of pressure, Ms. Bukema. Hi, I'm Remi. I'm in 11th grade this year, and I went to Purchase Elementary School. I am an IB Diploma candidate, and my courses consist of the AP Calculus BC 1 and 2 million variables situation, and I'll take SUPA next year. I'm also in IB English HL. I take IB Dance HL with Veronica, and I take IB History HL. I also take IB Spanish SL and IB Physics SL, and my elective course is Theory of Knowledge, which is a requirement for the IB Diploma. And I think I was just going to say Dr. Roll and I are on the same wavelength, because I was going to talk a little bit about HL dance, because I think it's one of the coolest things that I've gotten to do throughout high school. Part of our assessments are choreographing our own solos, choreographing pieces for other dancers, submitting those to IB, performing old dances that we've learned in the past. It's really interesting. I've danced my whole life, and it's such a unique experience. Right now, I'm writing my research paper about hip hop and West African dance, which I'm really excited for. My extracurricular activities, I'm a part of the student advisory board at school, which is sort of like our student government. Like I said, I'm a dancer, and I'm really excited next year to be co-president of Model Congress. And I also participate in USY at my synagogue. For my EE topic, although I'm not a senior, I'm really excited for the idea that I have. I'm going to be studying differences in rhetoric among women and men political candidates in televised debates. So I'm really excited to get a jump start on my paper. And for my CAS project this year, I taught a dance class to the FAYS students, which is our special needs group at school. So that was really fun and a great experience for me.
Thank you, Remi. Now, one of the questions that came up, and I don't know who wants to tackle this one, but the parent is hearing all of the schedules out here, and Macarena, they even referred to your schedule in their question. But like, what does this like a day look like for a student in terms of time? So the first thing is end and start time for the high school coursework is the same, but that doesn't include all the extracurriculars. So our school day goes from 7:45 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. We do have students take lunches, although we do have some students who do much against our advisement, opt not to do a lunch, and that is not something we suggest at all. So if anybody on this call is one of those people, that's not something that we encourage. But outside of that, what does it look like when that 2:30 clock hits? And maybe a couple of you want to say what it looks like to create that balance in your life. And Macarena, maybe you can start for us, and then anybody else who wants to jump in.
Sure. So besides after school, I typically stay after school for about an hour to do clubs and activities, anything I might have. And then typically I go home and then go to practice at my gym, which is where I play tennis. And then I come home and probably just do homework until midnight. It depends on every day, but at least for me, I try to get in a few hours of relaxing before going to bed.
I'd say similar to Macarena. I spend roughly like an hour after school on whether it's like extra help or extracurriculars like clubs and stuff. And something that's great is that you can play sports and still be involved in clubs because there's that gap, roughly like an hour gap after school between practices. Sometimes when there's games, it's slightly different, but a lot of the clubs are understanding of people's other obligations, which is really nice. So I'll typically like get home if I'm playing a sport that season at like 5:30 or whenever that practice ends, but I'll be able to attend the club after school.
My time's like a little bit different, I'd say, because of debate. The practice schedule is pretty rigorous. So every day after school, I usually go to debate. Now the season has kind of died down a bit, but usually I'm at debate. Also this year I'm virtual, so it's a little different, but still like practice as usual, Zoom for like 1.5 hours, 2 hours every day. And then after that, I have time for homework and stuff.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Sonali. Oh, sorry, Remi. I'd have to agree with Sonali. Technical theater, or our program specifically, is pretty rigorous. On a hard day, we do have rehearsal from 3 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Those rehearsals are during a tech week, which are a couple days before show date. But on a normal day for tech, I believe we have meetings every Monday it's only about an hour and a half. Now that it's virtual, I definitely feel the slowing down of technical theater for us, but we are trying to get as much work in as possible. But a normal day would just be coming home and trying to get the work in before 11 for me. I try to keep it before 11.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm a bit more of an early bird than some of my friends on the call. I stay after school too about an hour, and then I try to either have dance class or I like go on a run or something. Then I'll work on homework, but I usually put it away before about 8 because it's not good for me to stay up too late, and I have to get up pretty early to get to school because I live on the other side of town. But I definitely admire the willpower to stay up so late doing homework.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, as a year-round student athlete, typically I'll be either in the fitness center doing some type of practice for a sport up until about maybe like 4, 5, or 6 o'clock, which then leaves me with much the rest of the day to come and do homework or just maybe even relax if my schedule permits it. But one thing I just wanted to emphasize is with many kids having very rigorous schedules, a lot of our teachers are also very flexible with being able to accept after the due date. So, maybe on a typical day for me, if I feel like I need extra sleep or I'm not going to be able to finish everything in time, like teachers are very accessible. They're always open to read their emails, and they're very likely going to be very flexible with the student once they see that he genuinely needs more time, because they understand at the end of the day that we're all trying to balance a bunch of different things outside of their class. So as much as our schedule can sometimes be a lot more demanding than one might than one might think is fun to deal with. It can be manageable if you just contact our staff and try and get in touch with them and work something out.
Yeah, that like makes me think like what CJ said. I think it's really important to just like establish a line of communication with your teachers at the school, because I find things will go much easier for you. Like if you show that you're putting in the work, you're communicating, like they'll like, I don't think I've had one teacher be like, no, not accepting that, like, sorry, like you're getting a 0. And I know like when I was out, like, like when I had to have surgery or whatever, like they were so understanding. Like I know I was virtual for some part of that, but I think as long as like you're advocating for yourself, you're going to find yourself being successful.
Yeah, I feel like something to add on as well is that it really depends on the course and the teacher, but I really did not have a lot of homework. Like, and even the things I did were generally projects, which usually you could get done in class. So there definitely is a lot of time, even after your extracurriculars, for like kind of personal time. But again, it depends on your schedule.
Yeah, also, I feel like it was really helpful during my high school experience that a lot of teachers offer extra help in the morning and in the afternoon. So they really kind of you can really have a good idea of like when works best for you. And so if you get to school early, for example, I live in like downtown Harrison, so I got there at like 7:15 every day. So that morning extra help was perfect for me because I could just go in early and spend like 25 minutes with a teacher. And that way I don't have to worry about it conflicting with like sports or clubs after school. And I just thought that was really helpful, just having a variety of times that you could receive assistance.
I just also wanted to re-emphasize or re-talk about what Emma and CJ were talking about. Like the importance of communication in the high school is probably one of the biggest things I've learned with IB and with Tech Crew. We were also talking about how the school is really friendly. And I've noticed that no matter who you talk to, everyone's willing to help. So establishing that open communication, everyone will be willing to find the best path for you. So yes, it's a lot of work, and yes, it's supposed to be a challenge, but it's also not designed for us to fail. Like everyone is there trying to push us through this challenge and learn and grow from it. So now I know that I'm in a position, some of us are seniors going to college next year. I'm so much less worried than some other peers in other schools. I feel so much more prepared, ready to communicate, plan my time. I always feel like I have time in the day because of the amount of work I've gone through. So I definitely thank the high school for that.
I don't want to cut anybody off, but if I was enlarged on a screen, you're going to see my tears in my eyes because hearing you guys really is, and to speak of your teachers and your experience at the high school is something like I want to share this video with your teachers. So I think it would mean a lot to them. So thank you for everything that you've said about your experience at the high school. And your high school is very excited to see that your next steps for our seniors and look forward to our rising seniors as well and the great things that you're going to do next year. I don't know if we have any final words or if Dr. Wool, you wanted to add anything to our ending.
I just wanted to add, well, first of all, a credit to, as you said, the faculty, but also to you, Ms. Buikema, to Mr. Mastrota, Mrs. Griffo, Mrs. Malchevsky, the guidance department. I heard great stories about your guidance counselors, and I know so many of your stories personally. Remi, I'm still remembering what we went through last year and all the planning that went into graduation. Even though you weren't graduating, you had a role in talking us through those things and all that's going on right now. Every one of you, you're planning to bring back Relay for Life in person. The amount of loss that you have experienced and the courage and the integrity and the humanity that you continue to exhibit, it's inspiring to me. I have to say, you guys make it worth our while, and you certainly have taken advantage of everything we've put in front of you. I'm actually so proud that nobody has the same story or nobody has the same schedule. You've all found your own path, so you always do us proud. This is probably one of the best experiences I've had in a very long time, and I hope the community members watching realize what you helped us create, because while we're giving credit to everybody else, the credit really belongs to you. You created a place that is humane and intellectually based and respectful of other people. So thank you for helping us do that.
Well, thank you, students, for joining us this evening and for sharing your stories with us and moving us really with your stories on the pathway that you found at Harrison High School. So And thank you to my colleagues on this phone call, but to our parents out there. And if you have your children, our rising ninth graders out there with you watching this, we look forward to seeing what mark they will leave on our high school and welcome them in. As you saw at the beginning, or I'm sorry, the end of the video that we showed, we do welcome them to Harrison and look forward to meeting each and every one of them along with you, our parents. And hopefully it will not be the pandemic video that you just saw, but it will be a video void of all of the different protocols that we have in place right now. So have a good evening and thank you to everyone.